Good morning and welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I am Razzle11 and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. Going to take a look at some pitching for today, the 10th of September. It is Tuesday. We do have an 11 game main slate ahead of us. I'm recording this actually the night before, to be honest. So I'm not really sure what the weather is going to be like. But we're just going to take a look at pitching. Remember, this is a first look, and I will be using DraftKings, as that is where a majority of my action is. If you play on FanDuel, I would cut my pitcher pool into a half or even a third, just because pricing isn't as tight, scoring system being slightly different. But at the top, we get two guys facing off against each other. Imaga coming off of contributing to a no-hitter his last start, taking on a Dodger squad that's kind of struggling right now against Kyle Hendricks. I think Imanaga is fine against the Dodgers. I think there is enough upside, but I don't expect myself to go there. Yamamoto making his return from the IL. I don't really expect myself to go there either because he's probably going to be about the 60 to 70 pitch mark. He reached 53 pitches in his last rehab start. And with all the injuries the Dodgers have been dealing with, I would expect them to treat him very cautiously. So we've already skipped away from the top. Now we get Valdi taking on the Diamondbacks on the road. He hasn't been as great on the road. He does have upside. He's capable of getting it done against strong offenses. He is a slight dog. Game total is just 8 right now. Not sure if we have any K props right now. Actually, looking at 5.5. Juice is on the under. I think Evaldi's going to make my pool, but it's going to be a kind of a last man in 10 to 20% type play. Arizona's an offense that I generally like. We just know that Evaldi's somewhat matchup proof in that he's just steady at what he does. Pablo Lopez getting a great spot against the Angels. Kpop of 7.5. Juice is slightly on the under for him. He is a minus 245 favorite. He struggled against the Angels first time he faced them. Strikeouts were there. Got the win, but still had some struggles. He is pitching at home. He has been pretty strong over his last few starts. He's probably going to be my favorite spend up on the slate. George Kirby, a guy that we love using when he's at home. The problem is San Diego doesn't strike out a ton. So I'm just not sure what to do here. Right now, I'd say he's in play, but he's actually a slight home dog. Game total of 7 right now with juice on the under. That seems pretty low. K-prop of 4.5 with juice on the over. So there are signs pointing to him being a strong option for us. I'm just not sure if I'm going to get there. It's one I'm going to have to obviously think about as the day goes on. Zach Gallen pitching at home, where I love using him. His splits aren't as extreme this year at home. Last year they were real extreme. 2 of his last 3 starts have been amazing, and both were on the road, coincidentally. His K-prop's 4.5 with juice on the over. Like I mentioned, he is a minus 142 favorite, so I don't mind picking on Texas. Obviously, without Seager, they've had some guys struggling. I think Gallen is certainly in play for us. Peterson really burnt us last time. Didn't use him against Boston. Definitely should have. Didn't use Tyler McGill tonight against Toronto, and definitely should have. Does that mean we're going to compound it a little bit and use Peterson tomorrow against Toronto? Maybe. He is a minus 135 favorite in that game. Not sure if we have a K. I don't see a K prop listed for him yet. But I think he's going to end up in play. He has been throwing the ball pretty well. I just don't want to chase an 11K performance because he's not really a guy that we expect to rack up strikeouts all that much. So, Ertijas taking on Oakland. Volatile spot. He has allowed some runs to Oakland. He's made 3 starts against them. He is pitching at home where he's been at his best. He has double-digit strikeouts in 2 out of his last 5 starts, but he also was roughed up horrendously last start. Feels like it could be a decent bounce back spot for him. There are strikeouts to be had against Oakland. but there are also home runs to be hit. But his Kpop sitting at 6.5 with juice on the over. He is a minus 185 favorite as well, so uh, makes a lot of sense. Yu Darvish made his return, lengthy return from a lengthy break, injury, and then personal. Did throw 63 pitches. I'm not sure how many he's going to end up throwing here. Maybe in the 80s. We know there's plenty of K upside, and like I mentioned with Kirby, the game's got a pretty low total, and Darvish is actually favored. Uh, but he still feels like one I want to wait and see on. I'm just not sure that we're going to have that option too because of the K upside, and the pitching on the slate is so overall. I don't think I want to go to Seth Lugo against the Yankees. He's been throwing the ball well. I don't know. Maybe he ends up there. I mean, it's a dangerous spot to go with, obviously, but he's been really strong all season. So he's another guy that I don't know. I'm gonna try my best to leave him out of the pool, but he just might find his way in. Beto has thrown the ball pretty well, uh, and did so against Houston. I'm just not going to go there. I think Houston probably wakes up against him a little bit. Paente, not no, thank you. Alex Cobb is somebody we're going to want to use. Obviously, he's taking on the White Sox. Um, his best start with Cleveland was his last time out. Um, he had a blister, so his spot in the rotation was skipped a little bit, but obviously elite spot against the worst team in baseball. Really, really impossible to ignore it, to be honest. As I scroll down, really the only other guy right now that I'm considering at first look would be Aaron Savale. Pitching in a ballpark that I love taking pitching. He dominated them recently with 31 fantasy points. That was 2 starts ago. Was actually solid in his last one. Still allowed 3 earned runs, but still solid. Savali's going to make a ton of sense for me uh, on this slate. So, but there we have it. There's kind of a quick rundown of first look at pitching. The guys that are standing out. A couple guys that we're going to want to dig into more as the day goes on. But I will get my final pitcher pool up to the members at DFS Army throughout the day. So if you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. And if you want to join us and get access to our coaches, tools, sheets, Discord, etc., I will put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's RAZ, for 10% off monthly. And as always, best of luck, everybody.